we don't want to be putting our kids off education. We don't want to be at their throats, on their case, do this, do that, get this done. We don't want to be that sort of parent. I don't want to be that sort of parent. And I saw signs of me becoming that parent. So I had to take a step back. I had to take a step back and I had to really reflect on what do I want this experience to be like for them, and for me. And it had to be an enjoyable one. Parenting comes with its own challenges and can be very difficult at the best of times, let alone having to homeschool on top of that, because that opens a whole other can of worms. I'm Sambhi, and in this video I'm going to go through some tricks, tips and advice in which you can use in order to fill in those gaps you've got within homeschooling. One thing I realised whilst homeschooling my girls, who are 2 and 4, over the last few weeks, has been those odd parts of the day where I've got nothing really to fill it in, and I don't want them watching movies all day and they get bored of playing with each other, because it's quite a concentrated time. They are constantly with each other day in, day out. So what I struggled with as a parent was filling in those blanks, filling in those gaps, and the best thing that I found was letting them have some time alone without me having to peer over them all the time. I got a bit of time to myself to get jobs done and get my own work done, and equally they got a bit of independence. So what I'm going to go through with you in this video are really good apps and activities that I use in order to enhance independence within my girls and also allow me a bit of time to make a hot drink and sit and have a bit of peace and quiet. Most of us will have various ages at home, so trying to find something that suits everyone can be quite challenging in itself. Now I've got 2 girls. I've got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and they're at both very different stages of their education journey. I've got my 4-year-old who's in reception and she's learning her phonics, she's learning basic maths of addition and subtraction, and then I've got my 2-year-old who is learning her alphabet, who's learning her numbers, who's learning how to count, who's learning basic skills in terms of sequencing and ordering. So I've got 2 ends of the spectrum here, but trying to find something that suits them both can be quite difficult. But I think I've pretty much hit the nail on the head here, and I'm going to share some of my tips with you now. Let's start with numeracy. Now, it can be quite difficult, I can appreciate, to get kids to sit down and do maths. And if you throw a load of sums in front of them, regardless of what age they're at, I'm sure they turn their nose up at it and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. So what I've managed to do is I've managed to find a couple of really handy apps. The apps are free, so they are downloadable for you and accessible for all ages. And these apps will allow your child to access a range of topics and subjects that come under the umbrella of maths. That could be ordering, it could be shape patterns, it could be counting, it could be basic math sums. And that will all help your child to feel like they're playing almost, because they might access it on the tablet or on the laptop. But equally, there is learning that is being absorbed as well. And that's the key. You know, we are in very difficult circumstances, and not every kid is going to want to be pen to paper throughout, and they don't need to be. The average Key Stage 1 student will only need about 50 minutes of learning a day. So divide those 50 minutes across the whole school day if needed. So you've got 20 minutes of literacy, 20 minutes of numeracy, then keep those 10 minutes for reading, whether that's reading together or independent reading. So you've now managed to really divide the learning, and you're really honing in on the skills required without trying to do everything in one go. Allow those breaks in between as well. So these maths games that your child can access, whether it is ordering, shape recognition, counting, basic maths, they can do within those 20 minutes. Now, some of that you can sit with them and go through the activity, but have some time within those 20 minutes to step back, allow your child to gain that independence. A lot of kids nowadays, without us realising, know their way around a tablet very, very easily. And if they don't, trust me, they will pick it up very, very easily. So allow your child to be taught a little bit. They don't want you peering over them. Just like if we were at work, we wouldn't want our boss peering over our shoulder all the time either. So allow that time for them to learn how to do the skill and then move away and let them try it out themselves. Topmarks is another website in which I am able to access maths for my girls. Now, Topmarks is a really good website if you've got older kids as well, because they've got a range of subjects on there, not just maths. However, for me, I find the age-appropriate activities for my girls are under the maths category. And I am able to allow my 2-year-old and my 4-year-old on the tablet, or we have it on the laptop, and we are able to access simple maths. So for example, my 4-year-old can do sequencing up to 100. So there will be a dragon or a caterpillar, it'll give you a few numbers, and she needs to fill in the blanks. My younger one can do shape recognition, and it's like a jigsaw. She has to drag the shape into the actual jigsaw puzzle. So she's able to learn her shapes. My eldest is able to learn sequencing, and they are both on the app at the same time. And it is absolutely fantastic because all they need is for me to sit with them to start off with, go through how to do it, go through with my eldest, what does sequencing mean, and then off they go. And I'm able to sit back and really watch their independence grow. And that's what you really want to nurture whilst at home as well with your kids, because it is going to be very intense for everyone in the family. So the more you can encourage independent learning, the better it will be for all of you and your well-being. Another thing that you'll have available to you is the App Store. And the apps available on there, once you type in early years, are endless. Now, maths is the same no matter where you are in the country. So quite a lot of the apps that are available on the App Store may say pre-K, they might say kindergarten. Now, even though that is American references, the maths is the same and the counting is the same no matter where you are in the country. So really use all these resources and tools that are out there to make your homeschooling a little bit more manageable for you and your child. There are loads of other things that you can do to incorporate maths within your daily lifestyle. Do some cooking in the kitchen together. Me and my eldest bake cakes, and so she measures out how many grams we require of sugar, of flour, of margarine, and so she manages to do all of that herself on the weighing scales, and without her realising, she's using her math skills. When we play with Lego with my youngest and we make a tower, we're then counting how many blocks we have got in that tower. Again, she thinks it's a game, and it is a game, but she's also using her thinking skills in figuring out the order and the sequence of numbers from 1 to 20. Moving on to literacy. Now, not a lot of kids would want to sit in front of a book and read independently, and we're not expecting them to do that either. However, there are a few apps out there that can really encourage their reading. Now, one app which I really cannot rate any bigger than what I'm going to do right now is Starfall. Now, I have to say to you, I have no affiliation with any of these websites that I am sharing with you today or the apps. I am simply a mum who wants to share with other parents what has worked well for me in order to make your homeschooling experience a little bit more manageable and feasible as well. Starfall is fantastic, and it is an app, but it's also available on web browser as well. So if you want to access it from a laptop, it is equally available. And on Starfall, what you're able to do is you're able to do quite a lot of phonics and alphabet recognition and word recognition and filling in the blanks, all through play. Now, what is better than that? So my 4-year-old is sat there with a phonic sound being shared with her, and she's got to then match other letters to make a word. She's playing, it's matching for her, but she is learning at the same time. And she's also using her knowledge that she acquired from school, her knowledge that we're going through in terms of phonics that we go through generally together as a pair. She's able to apply it independently. Independently is the key, because what she's able to do is she's been able to solidify her knowledge. She's really able to secure her understanding within playing this game. But also on Starfall, and there's loads of apps under that umbrella as well under that company, my youngest is also able to access being able to learn how to write the letter by colouring it in, and they actually show you how the finger moves. It is amazing. She thinks she's colouring, and actually what she's doing is she's learning how letters form. She's learning the basic sounds, the basic phonics of letters. She's able then to put some of the letters together so she knows the order of the alphabet. She thinks it's a game. It is fantastic. And the best thing, she's doing it independently. There are so many games on Starfall that you should access straight away. I am not kidding when I am telling you the kids feel like they are playing, and there is endless amount of learning that is going on at the same time. So give yourself a break. Allow your kids to be a little bit independent, access these learning tools that some fantastic people have put out there for us for free, and give yourself time to sit back, reflect and relax, because these are very, very intense times. Entertaining our kids is not an easy task. So if you can access some of these apps for free, then why not? Some other things I do with my kids, and it is using technology. Now some people might think, oh gosh, she's using technology quite a lot, but it's all for learning. So why not embrace it? We're constantly on social media as a society. We are constantly on our phones. We're constantly watching TV, box sets, movies. It's about time we educated our kids on how to use all this equipment and all this technology in the right way. Why not start with learning? Another thing I do with my girls is we put on YouTube, kids YouTube, and I literally type in drawing for kids. And there is some wonderful things out there where I can sit my girls in front of the screen with myself, and we're being taught how to draw things step by step. And some of the creations my girls have come up with are brilliant. Yeah, given my 2-year-old does a little bit and then gets bored and goes away, but that's fine, she's attempted it. But my 4-year-old, she's so intricate, and she's grown a love for drawing because she's been able to access loads of different things and been able to draw things that she never even thought she could. Now, I am no artist, so coming to ask me to draw you something is probably not the best thing for you to do. However, there are experts out there that can draw, and why not? Let's reach out to our experts and allow them to give us some knowledge. My eldest is sat there with her table with the step-by-step drawing happening on kids YouTube, and she thinks it's amazing. She thinks that she's watching something and she's able to copy it step by step, and the skills that she is developing from this are endless. She's developing precision, patience, accuracy, hand-eye coordination, skills that they need on a day-to-day basis without realising. And she's doing it through drawing, something that she's developed a love for. So I'm going to enhance that, and I'm going to really nurture that so that she continues that love. We don't want to be putting our kids off education. We don't want to be at their throats, on their case, do this, do that, get this done. We don't want to be that sort of parent. I don't want to be that sort of parent. And I saw signs of me becoming that parent. So I had to take a step back. And I had to really reflect on what do I want this experience to be like for them, and for me. And it had to be an enjoyable one. We are under, like I've said, a lot of pressure. So let's ease off that pressure a little bit, and let's lean on those resources that are out there for us to utilise. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, then please check out my other parenting videos as well, where you can find other tricks, tips and advice on how to make parenting a little bit more enjoyable and manageable. I really appreciate you tuning in today, guys. Take care.